Alright, let's be honest. Elpis Fallen Star can be pretty brutal when it comes to summoning. The 5-star pull rates are so low that you'll start feeling like the pity system is your best friend. That's why rerolling isn't just an option here, it's practically a survival strategy. If you don't start strong, you'll be stuck watching other players breeze through the story while you're out here praying for that one lucky pull. So in this video, we're breaking down the ultimate Elpis Fallen Star tier list. From the absolute must-have characters to the ones you can safely ignore. We'll also walk you through how to re-roll efficiently so you don't waste time or resources. Whether you're a new player or just starting over for that dream lineup, this guide will help you kick off your EFS journey with power, style, and a lot less frustration. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Elpis Fallen Star. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. You know that awkward phase at the start of the game when you're just happy to have anyone on your team? Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because once you start getting the good stuff, those early characters are going straight to the bench. I mean, sure, at the beginning you might have to roll with whoever the game throws at you, but as soon as you pull someone from the tier list, switch faster than you'd dodge a boss attack at 1 HP. The difference is night and day. Tier-listed characters don't just hit harder, they make the whole game feel smoother. So don't get too emotionally attached to your starter squad. They're like tutorial companions. Nice for a while, but trust me, when a true powerhouse joins the team, you'll be saying goodbye faster than you can say Elpis Fallen Star pity system. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, V, Arlen, Rum, Kuki, Flark, Arya, Repu, Skylark, CL, and Annis. Alright, let's talk about the B-tier squad. Those characters who aren't exactly bad, but you probably won't be bragging about them in your friend group either. They're the ones holding things together while your true heroes are still stuck behind the pity system. Let's go through them one by one. And hey, don't underestimate them too quickly. Some of these folks punch way above their rank. First up, V, the queen of glowing orbs and chaos. She's an area of effect, AoE, damage per second, DPS character who fills the screen with floating orbs that explode like fireworks at a monster convention. She shines in stages packed with enemies, but when it comes to single target damage, she's kind of like trying to use a shotgun to snipe someone. Still, pair her with the Primal Awe emblem, and she'll do just fine until you grab a stronger AoE powerhouse. Then we've got Arlen, the healer who starts off rough, but glows up harder than a reality TV star. Early game, she's about as effective as a wet bandage, but once you unlock her awakening bonuses, she turns into a surprisingly durable support. At awakening level 3, she can even grant invincibility, which is just as broken as it sounds. Give her the Resurging Oath emblem, and she'll start feeling like a real healer, not just a moral support unit. Next, Rum. The name says it all. He's a strong, single-target DPS who specializes in shutting enemies up with silence effects. Both his basic attacks and assault skill can stop enemies from casting skills, which is perfect against talkative bosses. Just remember, silence doesn't work on everyone, so sometimes Rum will be more meh than menacing. With the brilliant glow emblem though, he's definitely worth keeping around. Moving on to Kuki, the speed demon of the bunch. She's all about that attack speed life, stacking it like it's Black Friday discounts. Her ability to both increase her own speed and reduce the enemies makes her great against bosses, especially those that rely on rapid strikes. The only problem? Her raw damage isn't as high as other basic attack DPS characters. Still, with Valiant Spirit equipped, she'll be zipping around faster than you can say critical hit. Now Flark, a limited 4-star DPS who hits hard and heals himself in the process. He's the kind of guy you'd want in your party during tough fights because he can take care of himself. Sadly, compared to others like Nebula, he doesn't bring much utility to the table. Still, slap on the brilliant glow emblem, and he'll hold his own until someone flashier shows up. Arya steps up as the armored angel of the group. She's a tank who not only takes hits, but also heals her ironclad allies while reducing enemy defense by 10% with her ultimate skill. That's pretty solid for boss fights. The only downside is that other tanks simply offer more team-wide impact. Still, give her the unyielding soul emblem and she'll make your front line feel just a bit safer. Then there's Repu, who walks the fine line between tank and support. She can heal allies with her assault skill and inflict pyro damage over time with her basic attacks. It's not the flashiest combo, but it works. Unfortunately, her kit feels a bit bare bones compared to meta 5-star tanks, so she won't carry you far. Equip Unyielding Soul to help her tank more effectively while she hangs on until you get someone better. Skylark joins the fray as your go-to AoE basic attacker. She targets 3 enemies at once and buffs herself with extra damage and attack speed, which sounds awesome. Until you realize her single target damage is basically a tickle. She's fine for clearing waves, but not much else. With Valiant Spirit, she at least looks stylish while doing her best impression of a storm of feathers. Ciel is next, and she's one of those characters that's more useful for what she brings to the team than for her own power. Her damage isn't impressive, but her leader skill is one of the best in the game. Think of her as the budget Delis. She might not top charts, but she makes the rest of your team better. Give her Crimson Pact and let her lead the charge while your big hitters do the real work. Finally, there's Annis, the unsung hero of the healer world. She's a 1-star character, easy to awaken, and surprisingly one of the best healers in the game. The catch? She only heals 2 allies at a time. It's a little inconvenient, but her healing power makes up for it. Until you pull Psycho or another top-tier healer, she's absolutely worth using, especially with the resurging Oath Emblem boosting her healing potential. So yeah, the B-tier crew may not headline the meta, but they're reliable, fun to use, and can carry you much further than you'd expect. Just don't forget to swap them out once those shiny S-tier legends start rolling in. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Teostra, Souffle, Timmy, Falcon, Lexi, the Hymnmaker, Nebula, Gima, Tequila, and the Absolver. Alright, now we're moving into the A tier, the land of characters who actually make you feel like you're playing smart instead of just praying to the gacha gods. These are the ones who hit hard, tank like champs, or support with real impact. They may not be top of the meta, but let's be honest. If you've got these guys on your team, you're already doing something right. Let's start with Teostra, the stun machine. This guy is all about locking enemies down and smacking them into submission. His basic attacks slow down enemy attack speed, and his assault skill not only hits like a truck, but also stuns the target, which is a dream combo for both PvP and boss fights. You'll see him shining in single target modes where precision matters. Equip him with Brilliant Glow, and watch him turn duels into solo performances. Next up, Souffle, the queen of watery chaos. She's one of the best hydro damage over time, DOT stackers in the game, drenching enemies and melting their health bars with consistent area of effect, AoE damage. In PvP and team battles, she's pure pressure, flooding the field and forcing opponents to deal with her non-stop chip damage. Sure, she's not quite on Ghost Queen's level, but with Primal Awe equipped, she's still a solid splash of destruction. Then there's Timmy, the AoE Line Blaster. Imagine a character who just draws a straight line through your enemies and deletes everything in it. That's Timmy. She's incredible when enemies clump together, especially in PvP or Horde-style fights. Her only real weakness? She doesn't do great against single targets. But hey, slap on Primal Awe, and she'll turn every group fight into a laser show worth watching. Now Falcon, the tank who somehow manages to be both protective and offensive. She dishes out hydro damage over time while taking hits like it's nothing. Her self-shielding is top-notch, and that massive AoE stun she brings? Yeah, it's as satisfying as it sounds. Whether you're going up against bosses or other players, Falcon with Unyielding Soul is a defensive powerhouse that can hold her ground, like a wall of water and steel. Lexi steps in as a stylish single-target DPS who can also slow down enemy attacks. The problem? She's a bit overshadowed by Teostra, who does her job a little too well. Still, her Awakening Level 3 bonus makes her shine in boss fights. Suddenly, she's not just another DPS, she's a serious threat. Pair her with Brilliant Glow, and she'll show everyone why you don't bench a 5-star that easily. Then we've got the Hymnmaker, a 4-star powerhouse that punches way above her rarity. Her assault skill lets her target the 2 farthest enemies, which is insanely good for cleaning up backline troublemakers. The catch is, you need her at Awakening 3 to unlock her full potential, but if you manage that, she's a beast. Equip Brilliant Glow, and she'll have you singing hymns of victory before you know it. Nebula comes next, and oh boy, she's a boss killer through and through. Her assault skill reduces the enemy's base defense by 20%, which basically makes your whole team hit harder. She's one of the best 4-star single-target DPS options in the entire game, and she scales beautifully. Throw Brilliant Glow on her, and watch her vaporize bosses like they were training dummies. Then there's Jima, a basic attack specialist who doesn't need fancy tricks to wreck enemies. Her passive stacks basic attack damage over time, and when she activates her assault skill, her attack speed goes into overdrive. She's simple, consistent, and great for bosses. With Valiant Spirit boosting her speed even further, she becomes a relentless flurry of damage that refuses to slow down. Tequila might sound like a party drink, but he's actually one of the sturdiest tanks you can get without pulling a 5-star. His taunt skill keeps enemies focused on him, saving your squishy DPS characters from sudden death. He's solid for both PvP and PvE, and while he can't match Ghost Samurai or Jessica in overall value, Valiant Spirit helps him stay relevant deep into mid-game content. And finally, the Absolver, the Chain Lightning Menace. Her attacks bounce between enemies, spreading AoE damage like an electrical storm. Once you unlock her Awakening Level 3, she becomes a serious threat that can wipe groups fast. Sure, her single-target DPS isn't mind-blowing, but with Primal Awe equipped, she's a fantastic crowd clearer that turns every battle into a chaotic, spark-filled spectacle. So yeah, the A tier is where the real fun begins. Powerful, flashy, and reliable. These characters might not be the absolute best, but they're the kind of teammates who make you forget you're still waiting for that elusive S tier drop. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ghost Samurai, Ivory Wing, Jessica, Freya, Delis, Ghost Queen, and Psycho. Alright, now we're stepping into the S tier, the elite squad, the I can't believe I pulled this crew. These are the characters that make you feel like a genius for even having them on your team. If B and A tier were training wheels, S tier is the rocket engine. First up, Ghost Samurai, the ultimate frontliner. She's a tank, a shielder, a healer, and can even deal some AoE damage while keeping everyone alive. Basically, she does everything except make your coffee in the morning. If you want a character that can carry you through almost any content, Ghost Samurai is your go-to. Equip Resurging Oath, and she becomes practically untouchable. Then there's Ivory Wing, the overpowered DPS who laughs at bosses and PvP alike. She can handle both single target and AoE damage, but the real kicker is her one-time revive per battle. Imagine a fight turning around because she brought a fallen ally back to life. Instant game changer. With Brilliant Glow, she's a nightmare for anyone on the opposing team. Jessica is your PvP terror tank. Her Petrify passive can literally decide rounds, turning opponents into statues while your team cleans up. Beyond that, she's excellent at buffing Voidblade allies, though her main role is just to hold the front line like a rock. Unyielding Soul only amplifies her already insane tankiness. Next up, Freya, a single-target DPS who also moonlights as support. She stacks base attack and attack speed like a pro and can even trigger time stop on enemies suffering attack speed reduction. She's a PvP powerhouse, and with Valiant Spirit equipped, she hits harder and faster than most people can react. Then we have Delis, the DPS/assassin hybrid who's basically made for chaos. Her basic attacks can stun, and her assault skill punishes the two enemies with the highest attack. Add one of the best leader skills in the game, and suddenly Delis isn't just useful, she's essential. Brilliant Glow seals the deal, making her a top priority pick. Ghost Queen doesn't even need an introduction, she's just broken. She can target multiple low HP enemies and obliterate them with insane damage. With her Awakening 3 bonus, she can hit 3 enemies at once, making her one of the most overpowered characters in the entire game. Slap on Brilliant Glow, and she becomes a literal executioner in your lineup. Finally, Psycho, the healer goddess. Her AoE heals every 3 basic attacks are insane, with a ridiculously high percentage of HP restored. She may not have flashy assault or leader skills, but when your team needs to survive a boss onslaught, Psycho keeps everyone standing. Equip Resurging Oath, and suddenly your front line feels unkillable. In short, S tier is where your team goes from decent to unstoppable. If you're lucky enough to have any of these characters, consider your battles already half won. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.